The morning haze was lifting over Valhalla Golf Club, and the pressure was unmistakable. Charlie Woods entered the final round in second place after 3 strong days of play. On the surface, he looked calm, but every swing and every putt carried enormous weight. One of the 2 automatic spots for the U.S. Junior Ryder Cup team was still within reach. All Charlie had to do was hold his ground. It sounded simple, but golf rarely is easy, especially with so much on the line. For 3 days, Woods had been sharp, steady off the tee, accurate with his irons, and confident on the greens. Crowds followed. His every move, reporters speculated about his chances, and fans assumed his Ryder Cup ticket was already punched. But golf doesn't play by expectations. The Junior PGA Championship is one of the toughest pressure stages in junior golf. And Valhalla's narrow fairways and tricky greens don't forgive mistakes. The cracks showed quickly. A bogey on the 4th hole, another on the 6th. His smooth rhythm began to feel tight. The turning point came with a double bogey on the back 9, and the energy around him shifted. By the end of the round, his scorecard showed a 74, 3 over par. That second-place standing had slipped to a tie for 9th, and with it, the automatic Ryder Cup spot disappeared, while Woods' run ended in heartbreak. Miles Russell's consistency across the season paid off, already leading the AJGA points. List Russell didn't need heroics at Valhalla. The moment Woods stumbled, Russell's place on the U.S. Junior Ryder Cup team was locked in. His smile and post-round photos said it all where Woods left with questions. Russell left with answers. Russell's story wasn't about 1 week. It was about a season of steady results. He posted top finishes in major junior events, a runner-up at the Northeast Amateur, and never seemed rattled under pressure. His performance made his Ryder Cup selection a formality. Calm, controlled, and consistent, he carried himself like a player built for the big stage. That reliability brought him more than a roster spot. It made him a leader. Alongside co-captain Tally Russell was now seen as one of the faces of U.S. junior golf. That recognition brought pride, but also higher expectations. For Woods, it meant the standard he would now be judged against had just risen. To earn a captain's pick, he would need to outshine not just the field, but the teammate already carrying the banner. The story isn't over. For Russell, the challenge is to live up to his new role as a leader. For Woods, it's about proving that one bad round won't define him. Their paths are now linked, and the rivalry between them may shape the next chapter of American junior golf. Golf history is full of moments where sure things fell apart because someone else rose too. The occasion? For Charlie Woods, the road just became steeper. But in sports, the toughest climbs often create the most compelling stories. His next test was already on the calendar. The Junior Players' Championship at TPC Sawgrass, for Woods. This wasn't about dwelling on his stumble at Valhalla. Within 2 days, he was back on the range, grinding until sunset. It wasn't just about correcting a swing or adjusting his putting. It was about proving to himself and to everyone watching that Kentucky was the exception, not the rule. The Ryder Cup roster deadline was approaching, and Sawgrass was his proving ground. Sawgrass offers no mercy. With its island greens, swirling winds, and punishing angles, it forces players to be decisive. For Woods, every shot would carry extra weight because this event stood directly in the shadow of Ryder Cup selection. And right beside him in the field, Miles Russell, the player already wearing the unofficial crown. This meant more than a leaderboard battle. For Woods, outplaying Russell here could shift the conversation, could raise doubts about whether the season-long leader was truly untouchable. The stakes were simple. One chance to flip the narrative from Russell's team to who's really leading this team. Numbers told an interesting story. Woods' 2025 season has been a mix of brilliant highs and frustrating lows. His breakthrough win at the AJGA Team TaylorMade Invitational came with a stunning final round. He backed it up with back-to-back 66s at the Junior PGA Championship before faltering on the last day. These flashes showed what he's capable of, but consistency has been his biggest hurdle. Russell, on the other hand, has been the model of reliability. No missed cuts, multiple top 5 finishes, a runner-up at the prestigious Northeast Amateur. His year hasn't been about sudden spikes, it's been about steady excellence. You always know what you're getting from him. And that's exactly the kind of dependability team captains value. So, the question becomes, which do you take? The player with the higher ceiling but more risk, or the player whose baseline is rock solid? In team golf, where match play relies on mental toughness as much as mechanics, the answer isn't simple. A player like Woods can deliver a game-changing performance at any moment. Russell, on the other hand, rarely gives one away. That's the balance Ryder Cup captains must weigh. And at Sawgrass, with both players side by side, the story was about to write its next chapter. A player who never slips keeps the scoreboard steady. That's why the captains will be watching Sawgrass closely, knowing one weekend could shift the balance. For Woods, the numbers suggest inconsistency, but the right performance at the right time could erase that label instantly. The question is whether Sawgrass will give him that chance, or bury him under Russell's steady record. All roads now lead to TPC Sawgrass. For Charlie Woods, it's the defining moment of his 2025 season. A top finish here wouldn't just look good, it would change the conversation overnight. The Ryder Cup captain, leaning toward the safe bet in Russell, would have no choice but to reconsider. A strong run in Florida would send a clear message: leave me off this team at your own risk. But to make that statement, Woods has to turn his practice form into tournament results. Can he rise to the fire, or will it consume him? On the other side, if Miles Russell delivers another solid performance, he all but locks in his place as the unquestioned leader of Team USA. That outcome would leave Woods with little room to argue. Missing the roster wouldn't just sting. Would let the story of U.S. junior golf continue without him. The stakes are bigger than one tournament or one Ryder Cup cycle. This is about identity. Whoever emerges stronger at Sawgrass will set the tone for the next era of American junior golf. Will it be Russell's era of steady excellence, or Woods' era of fearless surges and high-impact play? For the captain, the decision isn't just about filling a spot. It's about choosing the style that defines the team. Woods still has a chance, but survival alone won't be enough. To claim it, he'll need to challenge Russell directly, shot for shot, hole by hole. No holding back, no waiting for someone else to falter. By the time the final putt drops at Sawgrass, the fate of the Ryder Cup roster and possibly the direction of U.S. junior golf will be decided. The only question left is, whose name will history remember?